Okay. Let me play this first. Zelda and Chill playlist. So, I've had this idea, and it's how to make Splatoon 3 kits not bad. Like, because we can all agree that at the minute, there's a few problems with the game. The map design isn't great, and the kit system is very limiting. It's limiting options. I'm just going to lower this for safety, because I think that was a bit loud in testing, I don't know. So the kit system leaves us with few options, few viability, stuff like that. So I'm going to explain my idea, my grand idea for this. So we're just going to go, for example, with Splatter Shot, just as the basic, everyone kind of understands shot in a way. I'm doing this on the map planner of Center.inc, just because it's got everything here. So I was like, okay, might as well do this. Okay, so the general idea is that Nintendo will give us a set of subs and a set of specials, and us as the players can mix and match them. How I think this could be implemented in the best way is all of these subs down here get split up into utility and lethals. So lethals are your general lethals, your splat, suction, burst, auto, fizzy, torp. Everything else is utility. So I'm imagining now, off rip, every weapon gets 2 subs on release. So it gets 1 lethal and 1 utility. For example, I don't know what utility it would be. Let's say, just for purpose sake, it's this. So on release, you get shot, get splat bomb, and sprinkler. Not objective. And you can also divide the specials up into what you want as well. I haven't really thought about that, but for example, let's just give it Zuka again, just because that's what it's got. And let's give it, I don't know, let's give it Chumps. So, how this works in my head. So, you've got the obvious thing here. It's like, why wouldn't every player just run Splat Bomb Zuka? That is by far the best combination here out of everything. That's where this comes in. How do I do text on this? I've forgotten. Can I do text? Yes, I can. Okay. If I type this. Okay. I've forgotten how to do this. This is very scuffed. Let me actually do a new one to make it longer. Okay. So let's say Zuka now has 200 points for special. Yep. Chumps will have 190 points for special. So all of a sudden, we've gone back to this Splat 1 idea even, of specials. The point specials are on the specials themselves. Okay. This is such an autistic yap. Oh my god. So, and then it's still like, okay, but why would you not just go Splat Bomb Zuka? Still gets shit ton of specials. It still gets shit ton of good specials. This is where this comes in. Modifiers. So, for example, Splat Bomb would have plus 10 points for special. Or, let's make it plus 20 points. So, what this is doing now is, if you had Splat Bomb Zuka, you'd have a 220p Zuka. Because you've equipped the Splat Bomb. And just for completion's sake, let's give Sprinkler minus 10. Just because Sprinkler is alright, but You get the point. It's still a sprinkler at the end of the day. So, you've got this idea now that is like, okay, so you can go splat bomb chumps for it'd be 210 chumps on a shot. But you get the choice of these now. This gives you 4 kits to choose from. You've got your splat bomb zoo, your splat bomb chumps, sprinkler zooka, sprinkler chumps, and all of these dials can be changed. There's 200p, you can change it. There's 190p, you can change it. 20p, minus 10p. You can change these things along with the actual power of the sub and special itself. It gives you way more options to change it. This also covers for updates. One of the more used attributes of cycle updates is kits. This still works because now I can give shot auto bomb. You can give it a new kit of auto bomb and rain. I don't know. Let's just give it that. Then you give these points for specials. So that gives a plus 10 points, for example. That's a 0. That's an O, even what am I saying? And let's say this is 190p. And then you realise, chumps isn't actually being used as much, so you can change that to 180p on shots. Again, these specials don't have to be universal. It'd be more convenient if they were universal, but then there's stuff that can slide through the cracks, stuff like that. So now all of a sudden, your 4 kits are now, you've got 9 kits. And look how you've got 2 lethals, and then the next update you can have another utility, something like Ink Mine. And then let's give it, I don't know, let's give it another supportive special. Let's give it a bubbler, for example. Just speaking off the noggin here. Then for this, that's giving you another minus 10 points. This is a 200 points because that's pretty good at the minute. Just for example. Then all of a sudden you've got 16 kits that you can play with here. And all of a sudden, people will actually play other options, because, you want to play with a cheap bubble? Let's play Sprinkler or Ink Mine. You're not going to pick this if you want to spam bubble. That's where this other thing comes into play, which I haven't actually got a tab for. Let me... it's that, isn't it? Yes. Just so I don't want to... Oh, is my computer crashing? Shite. It's really trying its hardest to crash. It's very hard today. Anyway, okay, I can explain about this. Special charge up needs to be a main exclusive on the shoes. You can keep it as it will reduce it by 10 points, or whatever percentage it is. It's 10 points at 200p, so what's that, like 5% reduction, something like that. So if you leave it like that, but it's a main exclusive on the shoes specifically, so it has to compete with stuff like Stealth Jump and Object Shredder. You don't want to have this being abused, obviously. And this now leaves it as you can't have a safe jump in or very good utility on the shoes, and the ability to spam special. Another thing this allows is weapon skins. You can release weapon skins with it. You can release a hero shot as a skin over the shot. You can release the Octo shot as a skin over the shot. And all of a sudden now, weapons actually have a lot of creativity and personal style. There was something else I was going to go on about. Positives and negatives. Let's just go on about that real quick. So the positives, obviously, are that it gives control to both parties. It gives control to Nintendo, because they can still make these kits and not include anything broken. One of the main counter arguments to fully customizable kits is something like Slosh or Burst Bomb, for example. So this is a void. Let's just have this as a note down here so I know what I've yapped about already. So this obviously kind of lets Slosh or Burst Bomb down here not be played. This is an awesome circle. This is by my mouse as well. So this obviously lets it not be played here, which is a very strong power. But it also lets the user, the players, have this many kits, this much creativity. If you think Sprinkle on Shot works with chumps, go for it, knock yourself out. This also increases a lot of content that people can do. It also increases creativity, diversity, because all of a sudden, now people might not want to play Splat Bomb because it's adding 20 more points. But if you want to play Splat Bomb, and you're like, okay, you can use Charger to reduce that a bit. Then all of a sudden now you're lacking Stealth Jump. Let me actually make a note here, just so. Charger. Shoe. Oh god. Yep, that's my bad spelling right there. If it's wrong, it's bad spelling. If not, I'm a goat. I'm the goat. So, obviously this because it avoids these things down here. It gives creativity up here. Negatives. You're still giving the players set kits. I will say it is a lot harder to mess up. Obviously, you can't give Undercover here, for example. Like all bad subs, like you can't give it Wall, Beacon, Ink Mine, Point Sensor, for example, because that's 4 utilities. You want to kind of include two lethals, 2 utilities, just to as a kind of like you can do that sort of thing. You can't do that. It lets every weapon have a lethal. It lets every weapon have a utility. Some weapons would prefer utilities like Splatlings and Chargers. Some like shooters like Shots and Splash and 52 might prefer more lethals like 52 likes a Wall. But all of this is doing it. I'm trying to think of how to yap but not repeat myself now. It's letting the player base have control over what they want to play. For example, I play Paintbrush at the minute, and I like. I'm enjoying the Vanilla's Curling Bomb at the minute, and I'm enjoying the Nouveau's Missiles. So all of a sudden, I can combine these 2 things, and kind of go, this is, in my opinion, the best kit. Or you can do a very heavy location-based with point sensor wave, but no one will play that kit. Another negative here, while it was on my head, because I've remembered what my negative point was, is what is going to happen in competitive. People will find what the best kit is and just play that. And that is a good point, obviously. People will just go, with this example on the screen, people will go, okay, I'm just going to play Splat Bomb Zuka, cop the 220. It is just the best kit. Or they're going to play Auto Bomb Zuka for the cheaper Zuka with a still lethal bomb. And in my opinion, this isn't even a negative. This is just the same as normal. That's just a kit then. It's just that this is just the best kit. How is that any different from the kit system we have now? It just lets more weapons have that good kit. So instead of shot having Splat Bomb Zuka now some other weapon that hasn't gotten a good kit. Stuff like what's not got a good kit? Shit. Jet Squadron. Jet Squadron doesn't have a super great kit. So now all of a sudden it can get like, oh, we can get Burst Bomb and Kraken. And like in Splat 1, and now all of a sudden you've got another viable weapon. And this still lets people be creative while having a good kit on the exact same weapon. It's much easier to learn a new sub and special for a weapon than it is to learn a whole new weapon. This also helps metas develop. Because if all of a sudden some super broken combinations found, something like Torpedo Slosher with Zuka, for example, now all of a sudden people are going to change their kits to counter this. People are going to run more bubbles to counter the Zuka. People are going to run more walls to counter the easy torpedo combos, for example. And then all of a sudden now, this Slosher is going to change its kit to deal with that easier. It's going to go to, I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head now. Something and strike. Like, it's going to keep the torpedo, but it's going to go strikes. Now all of a sudden, everyone using bubbles is going to swap off strikes into something like a Zuka or a Crab that can easily counter the strikes, or a Kraken or something like that. So all of a sudden, you've got this meta developing in a rock paper scissors kind of format. So it'll keep the game live and up and like updated. It lets the competitive players use this ability to just be creative with the kits. I can't see a major flaw with this. The only major flaw is if something like down here happens. Unless Nintendo themselves really fuck up. I'm talking they give, again, Undercover some like 4 shit subs and 4 shit specials. Or they give a really broken main, a really broken sub that combos really well with it and just takes over. And that's another thing as well, I'll go to real quick. Is that we've seen in the past some weapons be good with both. With only a good sub, think K-Machine Splat 2, that had Fizzy Bomb Splashdown. Splashdown is probably the worst special ever seen in Splatoon history, Splat 2 Splashdown. And that still got used. That was still in like the top third of weapons overall, I think, because Machine Fizzy was just such a good combo. We've seen weapons be good only having a good special. We've seen Splat 2 Jet Squelcher, I guess. Jet Squelcher's not a great main. Mist definitely wasn't a great special, but because it could spam missiles, it was just like, okay, let's go. And we've also seen, and going back to Jet Squelcher, we've seen kits be good where they've had a good sub and special and a bad main. I mean, even Splat 2 Kunda with Torpedo Ink Mines. There's just a lot. Like, it's hard. It'll be hard to mess up any one weapon. Any player can pick a weapon, find the good kit, find what works, and it'll be good. If you're one of those weirdos that likes Wunder Splat 3 of Ink Mine and Reef Slider, you can play that. Like, again, it doesn't have to be power, it can be what you like, what you enjoy playing. I enjoy a good bit of Sprinkler myself, so in this situation I could use a Sprinkler, get minus 10 points on anything I want. I'm not a big fan of Zuka, I don't have to play Zuka now. I can play Inkstorm, I like chumps as well. So I get a 170p chump on a weapon that I don't really like, but I just used it because everyone knows what a shot is. It's just, it's hard to find a hole in this, in my opinion. If there's a hole, let me know, and I'll try and see what I can do with it. Because, again, obviously patches can change these numbers. All of these here, it can change that. The only thing you can't change is what subs get given and what specials get given, so Nintendo has to be a bit careful to not give Jet Squelcher Burst Bomb Whale, for example. It's just going to be really hard, in my opinion, to fuck this up in a major way. I think this is a very sound, future-proof option if they want to continue with kits in some sort of way, because it gives, again, so as a conclusion now, this is what I'm going to say. It's hard to fuck this up. It gives so much control to both players and developers that it's going to be just incredibly difficult to mess up. The only way this messes up, in my opinion, is this up here. If they keep Special Charge Up as a universal ability, I think this could very well break down in a way. But if this is implemented up here, this all works. Because now all of a sudden you can't have super aggressive with a super spammy special. And and some of the negatives aren't even really negatives in a way. It's like, again, with the negative, people just find the best kit, Splat Bomb Zuka. And it's like, okay, how's that any different from a kit these days? And people are still fine with it. People like Splat Bomb Zuka sometimes. And if you don't, you just change the sub or change the special. It's like, it's really firm and solid, very universal. I think this is the closest we can get to a kit system that will work, especially with Splat 4, where very well we could get more subs, more specials, more mains. Yeah, that's all I've got for. If there's any hole in the system, let me know. Ignore the black bars at the top and bottom. The window didn't fully capture. So yeah, I'll see you later, I guess.